If you're 60, 80, stop walking and start doing these 6 life-changing things. You're here now, not because you're slowing down, but because something inside you is quietly rising. Something deep, wise, and powerful. Maybe for the first time you're not chasing the rush of life. You're watching it, sensing it, listening more than speaking. And that's not weakness. That's not aging. That's awakening. We've been told for so long that aging is about decline, about what we lose, what we can't do anymore. They tell us to keep moving like motion is the only proof we're still alive. But let me ask you, when was the last time stillness taught you more than speed? When was the last time you felt strength not in your legs but in your presence? If you're between 60 and 80, you're in the richest season of your life. This is where wisdom lives, where clarity shows up uninvited, where your soul starts to speak louder than the world. And yes, walking might not feel the same anymore. Maybe your knees ache, maybe your balance is off. But here's the truth. They say slow down like it's a warning, but it's actually a door into deeper meaning, deeper healing, deeper purpose. So today, I'm not here to tell you to just go for a walk. I want to show you something different. 6 things you can do instead. Things that don't just move your body but stir your soul. Things that help you reconnect with life. Not just extend it, because you're not just older. You're becoming something even more rare. Someone who knows, someone who sees, someone who leads with heart, not haste. Let's begin. Number 1. Reconnect with the earth. Gentle grounding practices. You've walked on this earth for 6, 7, maybe even 8 decades. But when was the last time you truly touched it? Not just with shoes or steps, but with intention. There's something sacred about putting your feet on the ground, sitting with the soil, letting your skin feel the pulse of the planet again. It sounds simple, maybe even strange. But grounding, literally making contact with the earth, has been shown to reduce inflammation, ease pain, and improve sleep. More than that, it reminds you belong here. Grounding is ancient medicine that modern life made us forget. Remember when you used to lay in the grass as a child, stare up at the clouds and feel infinite? That wonder didn't vanish. It just got buried under schedules, screens, and responsibilities. But it's still there, waiting for you in the quiet corners of your yard or the sunlit bench at the park. When you touch the earth again, you remember that life isn't something to be conquered. It's something to be in relationship with. Start small. A few minutes barefoot on the grass, your hands resting on the bark of a tree. Feel the weight of the world fall off your shoulders as the planet holds you like it always has. This isn't a workout, it's a homecoming. Number 2. Breathe with purpose. Intentional breathing and meditation. There is a kind of breath that heals. Not the short, shallow gasps we take between obligations, but the deep, intentional kind that reminds your nervous system it's safe. This kind of breathing doesn't just calm you, it brings you back to yourself. And at this stage in life, that might be the most powerful thing you can do. Think of your breath as a gentle teacher. It's been with you since your first moment on this earth, and it will stay with you until your last. Every inhale a chance to receive, every exhale a chance to release. When you breathe with purpose, you're not just staying alive, you're reclaiming your space in the world, one moment at a time. You don't need incense or mantras or special music, though those are beautiful if they speak to you. All you need is a chair, a few quiet minutes, and the willingness to close your eyes and go inward. Let your breath move like waves through your body. Let it loosen the tightness in your chest, your jaw, your thoughts. Let it show you that even in stillness, life is moving, gently, wisely, and always in your favor. Your breath is proof that something within you is always trying to restore you. Listen to it, trust it, let it lead you back to peace. Number 3. Tell your story, legacy journaling or memory writing. You've lived through moments that history books will never capture. Not just events, but feelings, decisions, quiet victories, deep losses, and the wisdom that only comes with time. These aren't just memories, they're treasures, and they're meant to be shared. Telling your story through journaling or memoir writing isn't about becoming a writer. It's about becoming a messenger, a storyteller. Someone who has seen enough to know what truly matters and brave enough to put it into words. When you write your story, you don't just create a record, you build a bridge between generations. You give your children and grandchildren more than names and dates. You give them insight into who you are and why you are the way you are. Start small. One page, one memory. Maybe it's the street you grew up on, or the day you held your first child. Maybe it's the quiet strength of your father, or the laughter of a friend who's no longer here. Don't worry about style. Don't chase perfection. Just tell the truth, as only you can tell it. Writing your story is also a kind of healing. It helps you make peace with the past, appreciate the small miracles you once overlooked, and see your life through softer, wiser eyes. And when you pass those words on, whether in a book, a letter, or a single journal entry, you remind the world that a life lived fully is never forgotten. Number 4. Move like water. Chair yoga or Tai Chi movements. At this stage of life, movement doesn't need to be fast. It needs to be wise. The kind of movement that listens to your body, honors your limits, and still invites strength and grace into your days. That's where practices like chair yoga and Tai Chi come in. Not as exercises, but as rituals. Chair yoga is more than just stretching while seated. It's about opening up space in your body and your mind. It brings movement to joints that have stiffened over time and breath to places that feel heavy. Tai Chi is like a slow dance with the universe. Each motion flows into the next, like water, soft but full of power. These practices were created not just to keep you moving, but to keep you centered physically, emotionally, spiritually. There's beauty in gentle movement. There's dignity in knowing you can still feel strong without strain. Whether you follow an online class, join a local group, or simply create your own quiet ritual each morning, these movements reconnect you to something we often lose in a fast world: balance. And that's the lesson. Aging doesn't mean stopping. It means learning a new rhythm. One where you don't push against time but flow with it. Where every movement is a conversation with your body that says, I'm still here, and I'm still whole. Number 5. Teach, don't just talk. Mentorship or skill sharing. There's a kind of wisdom that can't be Googled. It's the kind earned through time, through trying and failing, through living. And you carry it, whether you realize it or not. Someone out there needs what you know, not your perfection, but your process. Not a lecture, but a story. Not a lesson plan, but a listening ear. This is your moment to pass the torch. You don't need a classroom or a podium. All you need is a heart willing to give. Teach someone how to cook a family recipe. Show them how to repair something with their hands. Or simply sit with a younger person and talk about what love, grief, or courage has taught you over the years. Every skill you've mastered, every challenge you've overcome. It's not just part of your past, it's part of someone else's future too. When you mentor, you don't just give knowledge, you give perspective. You help someone see further because you've already walked the road they're just starting. And in doing that, you don't just teach them, you remind yourself how far you've come. This kind of sharing is a powerful act of legacy. It's a way of saying, I was here, I learned something, and I won't let it end with me. So don't keep your wisdom quiet. The world needs elders who speak, not with volume, but with meaning. Number 6, feed your fire. Creative or spiritual pursuits. There's a flame in you that never burned out. It may flicker sometimes, but it's still there. The part of you that dreams, creates, believes, and searches for more than just routine. And now, more than ever, is the time to feed it. Whether it's painting, singing, gardening, writing poetry, volunteering, praying, or simply sitting in silence with a cup of tea and your thoughts. What matters is that you give yourself permission to be more than just retired. You're not done. You're deepening. And creative or spiritual pursuits are like oxygen for the soul. You don't have to be an expert. You just have to be open. Start a journal. Pick up a brush. Join a choir. Plant something. Explore a new philosophy, or return to a faith that once gave you strength. These aren't just hobbies. They're ways of making sense of life. They keep the spirit alive, curious, and connected to something larger than routine or responsibility. This chapter of life isn't just about looking back. It's about reaching forward into something new. Because your soul doesn't age, it evolves. And every time you create or connect, you give that soul the nourishment it's been quietly asking for. So light the fire. Even if it's small, even if it's just a spark. You're not here to fade. You're here to burn steady, with wisdom, wonder, and a quiet kind of power that doesn't need to shout to be heard. Conclusion: you're not slowing down. You're rising differently. They told you aging was about limits, slowing down, fading away. But that story was never written for someone like you. Because what you're doing now isn't about decline, it's about return. Return to stillness, to meaning, to the parts of yourself that were too wise, too deep, too sacred to fit into the fast lanes of your younger years. So maybe you walk less. Maybe you move slower. But now you move with intention. You live with clarity. You listen with your whole spirit. And that kind of presence, that's rare. That's powerful. The 6 practices we shared today aren't replacements for walking. They're invitations to step inward, to go deeper, to be fully alive in ways the world doesn't always understand. They remind you that your value isn't measured in steps or speed, but in your stillness, your voice, your grace. You're not in the winter of life. You're in the harvest. This is the season where the soul gathers what it's been planting for decades. A season of deeper roots, brighter truths, and gentler mornings. You are not less. You are more refined, more essential, more whole. So take these practices not as tasks, but as gifts. Unwrap them slowly, live them fully, and know this: you are not walking away from life. You are walking toward the most meaningful part of it. This isn't the end of your path. It's the beginning of your legacy.